Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the BEST number 9A9. This is a blank extractor key. It's an extractor key is what it is. BEST uses a split key type of construction keying where the extractor key is what's used to pull out the piece that's in the cylinder, disabling any keys that actually work it. And those construction keys will be, kind of like half keys because half of it's already in the cylinder itself. Someone who knows that it's in there and knows, about, core construction can realize, oh, I just need to hook that out. And that's basically what this does. It allows you to hook it out. But, like all things that are lock related, hardware related, special knowledge is, required to understand how it works. Well, when you have a small format system, a BEST system that is construction keyed, you'll need an extractor tool or an extractor key to pull out that part. So what happens is let's say there's 100 locks or 1,000 locks or 10,000 locks, doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but there will be a component that will be pushed down inside of the split portion will be pushed down inside the core. Then all of the construction keys are cut, don't quote me, maybe 3 pins, something like that. Or actually, probably not the majority of pins in the chamber. So that when the construction key enters, the split portion that's already in the core is already satisfying the shear line for those chambers. When you put in the construction key, it will satisfy the shear line for its chambers, allowing you to operate the cylinder. When you pull out that split portion, because you only have a short little stubby construction key, it's not going to operate anything. Then your permanent keys will operate. The downside of this concept of split key is that you will forever share certain chambers in common with the construction key, either directly or indirectly. So directly would be the construction key cuts are on the permanent keys, which is unlikely. But you would share it indirectly where you have additional shear lines created in those chambers because you are forever theoretically satisfying the shear lines required by that construction key. That's a bit maybe too deep of a dive, but maybe not. Construction keying is very typical and very common, and pulling those little doodads out of their little split keys are what's necessary. This appears to be made of just stamped stainless steel. It looks like stainless. It's very marginally magnetic, which tells me it's stainless, because stainless picks up some magnetic properties when it's been machined. The key would enter this way, and you would grab onto your split portion with this little prep that's in the extractor key. It'll come right out. Well, it'll come out. You have to hook it securely, and then you have to pull it out because you have those chambers and their pin springs, and then the driver, master, build-up pins, bottom pins, all pushing down into the cuts of that component to pull that out. So let's switch to the screen view, and let's take a closer look at some supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, here is the item that we are looking at. Let's look at the photographs that are linked to down below here. That's what the key looks like. And I'll show you where that goes in just a moment. A little closer up view. Okay. Now there's also extended description information down here. It doesn't say much except extractor key, but there's also a link to the cut sheet. And this is exactly where that is. So the extractor key, the 9A9, is the extractor. What they're calling the blockout blade. What is the blockout blade? That's been inserted down in, and that's what's preventing a full proper key from being inserted. And what happens here, because of this back cut here, your pin bear with me. Your pin is going to reside, I'm sorry, that's awful, reside in there. Okay, I don't know that there are 3 chambers in here, but it's right here in this area, right there, is where you're not going to be able to pull that out. The extractor key, what it does is it obviously fits inside of here and then pushes those pins upwards to allow their points here to clear the top of the blockout blade as that gets pulled out. So that's how that works. Okay. The 9A blockout blade slides in a keyway and blocks out other keys. The 9A9 is the special tool used to remove the 9A blockout blade segment. Now, it would go without saying that they make different keyways of the blockout blades. So for every keyway that you'd have in a system, you'll have a blockout blade in that keyway. Now, that's pretty cool stuff, no doubt about it. Is a more elegant tool than try to fishing those pins up and, you know, not only being able to tug on this to pull it out, but to keep those pins up. You might be able to lift it all to the point where you could get over here, but it's not the right way to do it. What I've heard said is you can change spark plugs with a hammer. It's just not the right tool. So the blockout key extractor is the way to go. Now, there's a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page. When you click on that, we'll be able to open up the manufacturer's page where you can review not only all of the best products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. That's here as well. Okay. Best access product catalog. But there are far more, well, there are at least as equally valuable documents here, namely the service manual. So if you fire up this epic size document, 1,300 plus pages, and type in 989, while it indexes this really huge item, you're going to get to the section in the service manual where you will find that item. Well, here we are. We're down in it now. We're in the core and key service manual section. So all things key and core service related, you're here. So really handy. When you call Best on the telephone and you ask them a tech support question, I promise you they're going to this document to look. I always check the document first, and I only call when I have to, because we're just wasting each other's mutual time at that point. So it's the governing document. There's also the A2 System Service Manual if you want to know from Best directly what it takes to service an interchangeable core system. It's here. There's also a learning guide that's here as well. Keys System Training. This document, they will literally teach you how to pin this material. It's not super easy, but I can tell you that you will, everything that you need to know to learn how to combine small format is contained here. For their A2 and A4 systems, they have 3 systems, A2, A3, and A4. It has everything to do with how close the increment is from pin to pin. A3 is a sunsetted discontinue system, so they're not, you know, the information is out there. It's just a different increment. And once you start to read that, you'll understand. And other important documents are here, so I would recommend that you review this. It was indeed Best Locke who patented the small format concept. There's that patent from 1921. And while this is not the core that we use today, the concept is, and this concept is not original. I would say that Frank Best was very much aware of the master ring concept, which was patented about 1898 or so. 1889, because it has 2 shear lines. And that is indeed what the small format core has. It has an operating shear line and then a control shear line here. Well, the master ring has 2 shear lines, and it was patented 30 years earlier. But the difference is both of the shear lines are used for operating keys in the master ring, whereas the small format, this is used for a control lug to be able to remove the core from the lock. And you'll notice that 1 chamber pull position is what it took to satisfy the the control lug shear line here, where this is the operating shear line, and you can see that it's been satisfied. You pull the key out once, and now you've satisfied the control lug shear line. limiting because you are pulling a key out one step. And I think I have been in a class or in training where they found that customers were unintentionally pulling their cores out because they pulled the key out unknowingly one position, and here the core comes out, sorry, in their hand. So a design was afoot at that point. Frank Best has lots of patents to his name, but he is known as the inventor of the small format system, of which it's been cloned countless times by other people. Falcon, Arrow, so many others. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, an item that we don't sell very often. These we're selling to, well, I won't say, but it's a branch of the government in Quantico, Virginia. That's all I'll say. That's who has purchased these. And sold as each. When you buy one, we'll ship you one. Can't really think of any other way to do this job as elegantly. Best has a really good technical support department. 100% of the time that I contact them, they reply back. And while they compete in a world where everyone has really good tech support, they're as good as everyone else, and that's what counts. Any questions on the 9A9 key extractor, breakout blade key extractor, or any other Best product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.